My colleague Anisha has actually managed to catch up with Warren Harris, CEO and MD at Tata Technologies. And obviously, she started by talking about the concerns of one of their key clients in Vietnam, that is Windfast. So let's go across and listen into that conversation.
Well, we're very proud of our association with Windfast and the Wind Group. We've had the opportunity to partner with them in the last couple of years to develop two of the electric vehicles that they are launching and delivering to customers, not just in Vietnam, but in different parts of the world. Windfast is a remarkable organization. They have launched the company in 2016. They have established market-leading positions in Vietnam, and we fully expect them to be successful in different parts of the world. As with many new energy vehicle companies, when they develop vehicles, they shift their focus towards building vehicles and generating recognition and interest in their brand. With Windfast, we would expect a slight dip in revenues over the next 12, 18 months. But that company is a company that is positioned for success, and we fully expect to be part of that.
Okay, so you're expecting a slight dip in the revenue, but the long-term growth outlook remains strong. But overall about the client diversification itself, because of course Tata Motors, the anchor client, is also something which has been much talked about. What are you doing in terms of increasing the number of clients? Because top 5 form almost 70% of the revenue.
Yeah, but if you look 10 years ago, both Tata Motors and JLR made up the majority of our services. And last year, at an aggregate revenue level, Tata Motors and JLR made up less than 33% of our revenue mix. You know, if you look at the number of million-dollar accounts that we have contributing towards our revenue mix, you know, some 3 years ago it was 28 companies. 2 years ago it was 30 companies, and last year it was 38 companies. So we're working very hard from a business development perspective to deliver value to existing customers, but also to complement the existing portfolio of customers with new logos that have the ability and have the capacity to scale with the ambitions of growth that we have for our company.
Sure, good to know that. I also wanted to compare you with a couple of peers, given you have now entered the capital markets. Be ready for that kind of scrutiny as well. I was looking at the margin profile. For you, the margins stand at around 18-19% thereabouts, whereas your competitor, the likes of KPIT, are limited at 10% margins. What explains the higher margin that you are able to drive, and going forward, what's the outlook?
Well, I think our margins, if you look at the detail, are very comparable with KPIT. But if you look at our business model, it's somewhat different than KPIT and companies like Tata Elxsi. You know, we are focused upon the end-to-end coverage of the automotive value chain, and what that requires is a healthy balance between onshore capabilities and offshore capabilities. Our onshore-offshore ratios today are about 50-50 in terms of revenue. We fully expect to be able to improve that to about 65-70% of our revenues coming from offshore services. And we think that will have an incremental improvement on margins going forward. I think other companies in our sector that are focused upon things like software and embedded electronics, I think that area, that line of service, lends itself to much more aggressive offshoring, and I think that in those sectors you'll see a different margin profile for those types of companies.
Okay, that does make sense. But you know, earlier, Warren, you couldn't talk to us a lot about forward-looking statements because of the impediments of getting listed. Now that it's out, talk to me about the growth outlook. Do you think this 30% plus kind of growth rate on the top line could sustain, not only in the immediate term, but for the next 3 to 5 years as well?
I'm still not going to comment on revenue projections or indeed the margin targets that we've got for the business. All that I'll say is that we believe that we are in a great sector. We believe that the global ER&D market will continue to grow in double-digit terms. We expect to meet or exceed the growth rates of the overall market, given our market position and given the differentiated value proposition that we represent. So we're very bullish about the future. We're very bullish about the overall market, and we're certainly bullish about the contribution that we expect Indian-based ER&D companies to the global manufacturing sector.
And before I let you go, Warren, a word on the outlook for the aviation segment as well. Of course, you recently tied up with Airbus. Overall sector ordering, if you look at the India business and your group company, seems to be quite high. Overall, what's the outlook for the aviation sector, you would say?
I think that's a great question, and we're really excited and very bullish about the work that we're doing in aerospace. We were impaneled by Airbus some 18 months ago. We've been opening up offices in Toulouse and Hamburg, rolling out IT systems, going through the various accreditations at Airbus that have now positioned our ability to be able to discharge a relatively sizable order book that we built for Airbus. And so we expect, revenues to start to flow towards the end of this year, and certainly we expect exponential improvement in the contribution from Airbus next year. To the point that you've made, the group is also investing the acquisition of Air India. The procurement of 470 single-aisle and wide-body aircraft is providing tailwinds that we expect to intersect with, and so we're excited about the business that we're managing directly. We're also excited about being able to complement the investments and the growing influence that the group has in the global aerospace sector.
Warren, congratulations on the listing again. And with this listing, I think Tata Tech has become the most valued company by market capitalization in the ER&D segment. The multiples have already touched 77x thereabouts. You're confident that you'll be able to do justice to that kind of valuation? And what's your final word to the investors? What would you like to say?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say a very big thank you for the trust and the faith that the investors have extended into Tata Technologies. We are not only gratified but humbled by the confidence that has been shown in us. We are going to work extremely hard to build upon the momentum that we've established for our company, and we trust and hope that the confidence that's been shown today will sustain, not just in the short term, but in the medium and long term.
Very interesting chat coming in with the management of Tata Technologies. Obviously, the shining star today on the D Street, a strong debut that is made by Tata Technology.